Another shambles of a result. Liverpool lose again, the fourth time in a row in the Premier League. Four losses in the last five games. Let's chop it up. Firstly, to everyone watching, please do smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. This is not going to be for the faint of heart, this stream. So if you feel like we have agendas, if you feel anything like that, maybe, just maybe, this isn't the stream for you. And help some of the super chats while we try and collect our thoughts. So, Football Bloods TV, big up yourself, says shocked to see Live in relegation form and United above you guys for after a long time. Feels like I'm in a Hodgson era. I feel for you guys. Big hug. Big up yourself, Football Bloods TV. Acura says I'm slot out. Also, how could Mo make us concede 3 goals like that? Disgrace. Football Bloods TV then goes on to say the fact that even rival fans could see the problem, but the manager feels so bad for Sabozlai. He will be replacing man that's really in goals soon. Big up Kopish. Yeah, that might not be far from the truth. Says Sean P says, I do not care about the goal. Salah on the pitch for 90 is a sackable offence. Agreed. Official MD speak says if Slot's lost the dressing room, he has to go. Heitinga was a big factor in the backroom staff in regards to players. Tough to watch. Big up you, man. Big up. Aminor says, hold that, you LFC man them. I'm not going to do the last bit. Big up yourself for the super chat, though. You know, I can't say the last bit, man. 1 minute motivation says Drift will blame Salah again, but conceding 3 goals on Slot, he won't blame Salah.
When have I ever blamed Salah?
Yeah, I'm done with this bald fraud. You got more money than Klopp just to destroy everything he built. Omar says, if you think our issue is just Mo's form, good luck to you. Agreed. That's a big factor, though. V2 says, hold on, I see a lot of Salah defenders coming out with chest because of his goal. Doesn't hide the fact that for 78 minutes of every game he does nothing. He might as well be a super sub. At least we can start with 11. Conversation.
He can't be a sub because he'll throw a hissy fit.
Reds2308 says, playing Salah and Kirk is about to get Slot sacked. No comment. Sam Max says, I've got the peps and car ready to... Well, can't say that bit online. Vitu says, the irony, the two who scored are the two that should never have started again. Both have to leave at the end of the year. One to Saudi, the other in the Bundesliga, so he can look like the world's left back next to Luis Diaz. Jamrock, board should not sanction any more money for Slot. Yeah, for real. Jeannie says, if I'm not if I'm more hungry. I don't know if I'm more angry or embarrassed right now. I'm both. Jeannie says, this is a relegation form. This reeks of League 3. Agreed. Matt Bicazette says, Slot hasn't made this easy. He's on very thin ice. Yeah. D'Angelo says 6 goals in 4 to 5 games. Clearly a coaching problem at hand. Zero control in midfield, putting pressure on the defenders. Coaching matters. Agreed. The red guy 8 says, honestly, I've grown numb to this season already. It's clear we're winning nothing, so no point in caring. Big up to you suffering through this. Your boy says, I'm getting numb again, your pause. It's hard to watch. Yeah, start dazing. 15 goals against us in 9 games, in 9 league games. It's essentially November. Has he tried to address the defense at all? What the F is he trying to work on in practice? Liam says Slot treating Rio disgracefully only when losing. Facts. How can you not bring on your 17-year-old attacker when you're winning the game 5-1, but you're chasing the game and you bring him on? Jacques says league is gone 2025. Form is shocking. Agreed. Sarim says, should I watch Streaky? At least they try.
I think he means Strictly, I think.
Oh. Cyberzone says the lads need another international break for Dubai holidays. We're close to 14th than we are to first. Conceding is now expected every game. Facts. Sam Max says expect a phone call from Boston incoming. Be ready. Vince's viewpoint says what they do in training. AXA holiday resort. Mantis, can we be slot out now? Cool. Slot the F out. 18 goals leaked in all comps. At this point, I'm not worried about silverware, just decent football for F State. Ian says, Regis, Lebris, la 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 la. Football knowledge says Slot is an average manager when NFC fans will realize. We got Sister Rose. It's been a while. Hope you're well. Says Slot acting like an apprentice coach, staff failing. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. To be honest, I'm every loss we have. Every time we lose, I think to myself, I can't get angrier than how I feel now. And then every time we lose again, I get angrier. This isn't. This is beyond a crisis at this point. When we last went through form like this, it was in the COVID season when we lost our centre backs, didn't buy anyone in centre back apart from Kabak and Ben Davies, didn't really strengthen after winning the league. We bought Thiago Jota and Simicast, which were brilliant signings, but we all know we needed more. This time we won the league and we really strengthened, like went for it in the window. And yes, we have some injuries. We have Allison, Isak, and Frimpong who are injured. Grav, but those aren't enough for excuses. Those aren't enough. We've been poor for a while now. For an absolute while now, we've been poor, and the manager is not doing enough to rectify this. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Can't defend set pieces. Have no control over games. Have no attacking patterns. Bad selection. Team don't really look like they're playing for him. I remember the other day where I said I can't be mad at people who are slot out, even if I don't agree at the time. I can't be mad at it. Right now, I really can't be mad at it. Really can't be mad at it. Your boy says, I'm not blaming Mamadash really, but he's bang average, Miss Ali. I think it's a bit harsh criticizing Mamadash really personally, but that's fair enough. Jamrock says, Slot focused on the wrong side of the ball, fix the defense, structure and set piece defending first. We discounted bad performance for a long time now. We have. Frankie says, this is something else, boys. I want to go back. Take me back to when Florian Wirtz joined. The picture I had for this season. Take me back. EPL done. Malik says the players are like islands. No chemistry. They're just doing their own thing without a game plan. Our goals are just coming by chance. Big up to KG, says Dark. AM says Roman Abramovich sacked Di Matteo a few months after he'd won the Champions League for Chelsea and their form wasn't this bad. Let's see whether FSG have the bottle to sack this fraud. Sam Max says defenses win titles, never fancy football, fix up. We're not even playing fancy football, Sam Max, bro. Sam Max, brother, we're not even playing fancy football. Do you know what? Part of me could live with it a little bit more if we were bad defensively, but very good going forward. We're not even good going forward. We're just crap all over. Mantis says Ali and Grab being injured isn't enough to justify conceding a silly goal from a long throw. Come on, man. How are we conceding there? Fully agree with you, Mantis. Just Lab says new players take time to gel, not slot out yet. Omar says anyone scapegoating anyone is blind. In my opinion, it's much bigger. Javid says, not a single good performance in the league. Can't defend. No formation. 4 losses in a row in the league is not acceptable. Slot is clueless. Big up to your boys. Gifted 5 Kopish memberships. If you received one of those, please do make sure you send
out your boy.
Promo says we lost a bunch of bees. Not talking about Beyonce. KG. Man United above Liverpool, sackable offence. Eyes emoji.
Yeah, it is, brother. It is. To be below Man United is sackable. It is. Congratulations on your win today as well.
I'm not congratulating KG. I'm not doing it.
I don't want to do the sour grapes thing. Man United won, man. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm not congratulating. I love KG. That's my brother, but I ain't congratulating a Man United with. Drift, I've spoken, man. What you got to say, bro?
Bro, I'm kind of not speechless in a way of like, I don't know what to say. I just can't be bothered with these men today, man. Why should we make effort when they won't? You know? I think Slot's lost the dressing room. I do. Matt said it during the watch along, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I'm not Slot out personally because I still think it's too early to sack a manager who won the league and clearly showed he was good last year. That's why when people are saying he's a fraud and stuff like that, I'm like, you're just using buzzwords. Like, you can't win the league by fluke. So therefore, he can't be a fraud. Even if he's not as good as maybe we thought he was, or maybe even if, like, you know, he is making mistakes now that could end up making him lose his job. It doesn't mean he's not a good manager. He showed he was a good manager, so he's not a fraud. That's just ridiculous. But if he's lost the dressing room, he's got to go, Cal. You can't have a manager who's lost the dressing room. For whatever reason, he's lost the dressing room. If it's they don't like what he wants them to do, if they don't get on, if he's bollocking them and lambasting them and they don't like his management style, whatever it is, I don't know. But if he's lost the dressing room, you got to go. And the thing that's making me believe that Matt's right when he's saying he's lost the dressing room is I saw no fight, no desire. I didn't see anybody winning a second ball. I don't see anybody having any aggression. I don't see anybody really caring. I see people running when they should be sprinting. It kind of looks to me like it is like a throwing it kind of thing. And I'm not saying that they're trying to get him sacked up on purpose or anything like that, but you kind of watch it and you're like, yeah, you man are just winging it. It kind of looks like you're like doing what you want. You're not really caring. You're not willing to do anything extra. And I guess that's if you don't want to fight for the badge or the manager anymore. So it must be the manager, because I doubt they don't want to fight for the badge. So if he's lost the dressing room, bro, he's got to go. I guess we've got to start having conversations where we start actually thinking, who could we bring in? Who would be a good fit for Liverpool based on the players that we have? We might have to start considering a new manager, bro. Real talk. We really might.
Do you definitely think he has lost the dressing room?
I just can't understand why so many players wouldn't care anymore, Cal. Like, if I say a name, let's just do a quick 1 minute session. I'm going to say a name, and then you say yes or no. So the question is, were they making enough effort for you? And then I'll just say the name, and then you just say yes or no. Forget the goalie. Bradley.
Yeah.
Ibu.
Yeah.
Virgil.
Yeah.
Kirkes.
He actually was making effort, yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
Soboslai.
Yeah.
Salah.
Weirdly enough, I do think he was making effort, just not playing very good.
Gakpo.
Yeah.
Verts.
Yeah. Like, they're making effort. It's just a shambles. They are actually. Yeah, Kez always makes an effort.
Rio.
Yes.
McAllister.
Yeah. I don't think it's an effort. Yeah. I don't think it's an effort thing. I don't know,
Cal, because when you're saying it, I'm thinking you're not wrong. But then I remember the game though, bro. And during the game, it didn't seem like anybody was making any effort.
The thing is, I think people mistake lack of effort for just lack of tactics and frustration. I think
bro, if you're not jumping for the header, if you're not running fast enough to get there first, if you're losing every second ball, if you're getting barged off the ball, can you be making effort if all that's happening?
Yeah, you're just not playing well because you're set up in a system whereby you're not getting the best. Like when Wirtz came off the pitch day, that looked like someone who was like, "Why the hell did I leave Leverkusen and come to Liverpool?"
But how does formation make you concede that first goal as an example?
No, it's not just formation drift. It's more than just formation. It's
No, but even tactic, I don't think that goal's got anything to do with other than like player application and using their intelligence to like know like Kirke's back post doesn't even like care the guy's there. Why is Ekitike losing the header? For the flick or like it's just like lack of like effort and like.
because it's zonal marking as opposed to man for man.
No,
It's
but surely
defensive.
Kirkes has got to see that man in a back post, and it's not about zones. It's about marking the bloody man.
Well, if he's not being coached and told to do that drift, then maybe he's not going to do it, bro.
No, but come on, Cal. He's a professional. He's got to know if there's a man there, get him. Like, come on. We don't need to be told that. Come on.
But hold on. So are we saying then it's not on slot then?
No. I'm just saying, like, I don't think the players are making effort. And if they're not making effort, then maybe it is because they don't want to play for slot. Like, you can't blame Slot for a player doing that, but maybe it's because they don't like Slot anymore. Why they're doing it?
Well, what is our defensive structure? All right, Drew.
Attack. Like it actually, like from the back right to the front, we are attack.
So if you've got no defensive structure, no defensive coaching, you're going to be confused all the time.
Maybe. Well, we got to start having conversations about who we're going to bring in next.
And then, all right, do you know what? Big up, Sister Roz. Drift changed the question. Ask who played that soft. Because a lack of effort, that's calm. But maybe we just got soft brothers in the team. Pause.
Oh, well, Sister Roz, I've been saying this for months that we're too soft.
No, but that's the difference.
Months,
you can put in effort, but still just be weaker than someone else.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, but some of the things I'm seeing aren't even about the 50-50s. They're like just no desire to even get involved in the 50-50. Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how you can go so far in the other direction in terms of like being positive and now all of a sudden it's negative. But man, we got a big problem on our hands, man. We've really got a problem on.
I don't know how Slot comes back from this unless he wins the league.
No, because if he like finished like second and we went on a good cup run or something, then that would mean that he'd like come back from this. But like in terms of
you better
winning the league.
No, when cup run, Champions League, it better be Champions League you're talking about.
Yeah. Or no, when I say cup run, I meant like say won like the FA Cup and came second.
That's not enough. That's not enough, Drift.
No, but it would mean he redeemed himself. If he wins a trophy, he's redeemed himself from this poor form.
No, he hasn't.
Of course, if you win a trophy, then you can't say you've had a bad season if you win a trophy.
Yes, you can. Ten Hag had bad seasons, won the trophy with Man United.
Yeah, but Ten Hag was finishing in like 5th and 6th. If you finish second and you win a trophy, you can't say you've had a bad season.
Brother, we spent 400 mil after winning the league. We bought Isak.
We didn't have a season as good as we should have, but it's not a bad season. There's a difference between you didn't do as well as you should have and a bad season. If you finish second and you win the FA Cup.
We're Liverpool. We won the league and strengthened our squad. And we're going to throw up not winning the league. No, winning the league was the minimum.
I'm not saying that's the minimum. I'm not saying that it's not what we wanted. I'm saying second and the FA Cup is not a bad season. It's just
that's
not
a
as
very
good
bad season for what we've gone out for and what we should be winning. FA Cup and second place is a bad season for Liverpool. How 100% is a bad season for Liverpool. If Arsenal won the league last season and spent what we spent and brought the players in that we brought in, and then they won a FA Cup and finished second, we would never let them live that down. Never.
Well, again, it would depend on the context.
The context is last season we won the league, and this season we signed Florian Wirtz, Ekitike, Isak, Frimpong, Kirkes, Leone, and we haven't won the league.
Yeah,
that's the context. He hasn't been good enough in the league. The league was the bare minimum.
It's like I said, because I don't actually care in regards to like trying to defend Slot. I don't want to go down the road, but the context is we lost players as well. and we didn't spend for 3 transfer windows, so we just did in one window what we should have done across 2 seasons. So like there is context to the whole, like we can't just go, oh, you spent money, so you should be. It's like, well, we didn't spend money for all the other times. But again, I don't want to do the defending slot, but we have to add the context because we can't have an empty conversation. But at the end of
Even
the
with the
day,
context drift, still should be winning the league.
no, we should have won the league. But I still can't. I just think it's disappointing from what we wanted. I still can't say second and an FA Cup is a bad season. It's just not as good as we wanted. You can't finish second in the league and win a trophy and say you had a bad season. You just didn't have as good of a season as you should have. I think there's a difference. The wording is important.
Drift, we're out here in October conceding the league.
Yeah, and that's why it's.
I don't
it's
think he can
annoying.
come back from this drift. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't
No, he
think he can come
probably
back from
can't.
it.
He probably can't come back from this. I don't really see how he can, to be honest. Like, you're right. I don't actually see how he comes back from this because to me, the players aren't playing for him. I don't know, man. They're just not playing for him. So,
Got some more supers. Would you be able to do the player range, please, Drift?
I'm not on my own laptop, bro, so I don't have it, And like, yeah. I'm not gonna be able to.
We never lost 4 Premier League games on the spin under Roy. Facts. Macken says, is there a bigger issue than tactics going on? Seems like there is, bro. Matt says, there's so many issues, pinpointing one is hard. Agreed. Cyberzone says, I'll crash if I see fine margins to clean sheets in 19 games. Abysmal.
Mad.
Your boy says last time we lost 4 on the bounce in the Premier League was in 2014 under Brendan. He brought in 7 players. He got sacked not long after that. He was given the whole season, to be fair. Ahmad, big up Ahmad. It's been a while, bro. Hope you're well.
It has been.
Big up Ahmad. I'm in pain. Isak missed today. 4-4-2 works with Hugo Ekitike. Agreed. Sergeant Yarrison says, I'm starting to think if this is Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, him and Slot probably isn't the right partnership as managers. He's former Arsenal too. Bring back Heitinger. Maybe he was the one that brought balance last season. I can't blame anything on. To tell you why I can't blame Van Bronckhorst in the same way I could blame Linders. Klopp was the manager and Linders was head coach. Slot is the coach. Slot is the head coach. That is his job title, head coach. Slot's not having to do the behind the scenes stuff like Klopp was doing. Slot's not relinquishing control.
I still don't think we can look completely past Van Bronckhorst. Like, he is a new addition and we're not playing well. Like, so, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I thought it was a great appointment, but I don't think we can just completely dismiss at all that Van Bronckhorst has got something to do with it being bad, bro.
Pav United TV says KG and the reckless delegates send their regards. Hold that.
You know, KG's been waiting for this for months, bro.
For years. Joshua Harvey says this season, Eric Gelms felt like we are set up to lose. Slot looked confused himself on the sideline. Imagine the players' thoughts. Salah is a joke. DP says Wirtz was our only creative player and we brought him off when we needed a goal to bring on Joe Gomez. Javid says can't lose 4 games in a row. That's not a fluke. Facts. Just Lab says people saying Slot out. Who you getting besides Klopp? Run me Gerrard, man.
You know what? I was actually gonna say, Cal. Let's have a conversation after the super chats about who we actually got in the chat. Some names. Who can we actually bring in?
Gerrard or Glasner? Run me one of them too, man.
The Gerrard one, you can't be being serious, bro.
I'm deadly serious. Acquia, Frankfurt was a crap team, but we showed more fight all around. What happened? We changed personnel, bro. Joshua says, lads, if we're honest, we're lucky to have the points we have. That's not a fluke.
I disagree with that. I think we earned those points that we have.
Bass 91 says Rafa Benitez to the end of the season, go win the cups.
No,
Not me,
I
not
think
me
apparently
personally.
Rafa's got a job. Like he just took a Panathinaikos, is it? I think.
No idea. Shawnee S says I can accept certain things in matches. What I can't accept is and won't accept is losing 50-50 battles, lack of desire. You'll never walk alone. Hear it,
Shawnee's
bro.
right. That's what I'm saying. It was we lost every 50-50 and there was no desire. And yeah, I agree. 100. That's what I've been saying all watch along.
Mantis says Verts came to us based on a conversation he had with Slot, right? What is going through that young man's head now? You sold me on this. Facts. Man, I had to play right midfield. Yes,
Well,
last
but here's
game.
the crazy thing to that. It must have made sense to Verts for Verts to be like on board. So has he changed what he told Verts, or you know what I mean? Like, because Verts wouldn't see something that looked stupid and agree to it. So it must have looked good when he was doing the
Do you reckon when
presentation
they
to
had that
him.
conversation, he said to Florian Verts, I want to play you right midfield, a couple games? What do you think Verts would have said to that?
Well, I definitely know he didn't say that.
He'd probably call him a shizer and hang up the phone.
Well, it was in person, so he might have slapped him. I don't know.
CGC78 says questions need to be asked about Slots, tactics, and team selection. The team hasn't gelled together because of his rotations he keeps making. Agreed. Sergeant Yarrison says former Premier League champions to looking like AZ Alkmaar. Yeah, it's dark. Sheg says no structure, no chemistry, no brain cells. Slot has been out coached by someone who wasn't even a manager last year. Heitinger might have been the glue. I'm not gonna lie.
I do think we need to stop saying he's been out coached when it's basically just we play crap and we lose. Like you can't always say you're being out coached because the other person's tactics worked on because like if you are just constantly doing the same thing. No, because if you're doing the same thing and it's just going wrong all the time, being out coached means you had a specific tactic and then he outdid you. If you're just doing the same thing that ain't working over and over and over again, you're not being out coached. You're just not doing your job well. There's a difference.
It's both. He's being out coached, bro.
No, because if you're doing the same thing all the time, then the other people just know what to do. Being out coached means like you change things and then the other manager goes, oh, what are you trying to do? And then he does something and then we're just doing the same thing. We're being shit over and over and over again. I'm not going to sit him and go, the Brentford manager out coached Slot. I think that's too far.
He did out coach him, Drift. He did out coach him
We
today.
just done the same shit we've been doing all the time.
Yes, and we're being out coached every time, bro. He got out coached today.
I don't think that's being out coached, but
Drift, he absolutely got out coached today.
No, I just think we're just doing the same shit and it's not working. He's being a bad manager. Being out coached is giving credit to the opposition. I just think we're just shit and whatever we're doing ain't working.
So what? Brentford get no credit today at all.
I'm not saying they don't get credit because they won, but like we're just shit. Like it's easy to beat us.
So what's our weaknesses?
Everywhere.
No, being realistic.
No, honestly, everywhere, bro. We don't press, we don't tackle. What's our main we don't win 50-50s. Everything's a problem at the moment.
What's our main weaknesses?
Poor pressing, poor finishing, complete misalignment for midfield. Defensive structure is poor. Like, there's so many things wrong, bro.
Our main weaknesses are defending set pieces, defensive structures, and breaking down low blocks. Those are our three main issues.
I think, maybe more.
Those are our three main issues. So if a manager sees that our three main issues are those things, and then the coach sets his team up to exploit those three main things, whether it be from minute 1 or minute 31, we've been out coached if we can't react to it and outdo that manager. We've been out coached.
Like I said, I'm not even gonna. I think if it's obvious what we're gonna do because we keep doing the same thing, so it's easy to know how to counteract it. I don't call it being out coached because it's just obvious and anyone can do it. Being out coached is actually trying to say that manager come up with a tactical plan that was so good we couldn't do anything about it. That's being out coached. Just knowing we do the same thing every week and it's easy and anybody could do it. I could be the manager of Brentford and know what to do. I'm not a good coach. So like that's where I'm like, I don't think it's being out coached, but I really am
Right
would
now, you
argue
don't.
with
Right
it.
now, you don't have to be a good coach to out coach Slot. You don't actually have to be a good coach right now.
Well,
That's the
like I
issue.
said, I don't even want to argue the point. It is what it is, but
Um, Late Show says first super chat. Big up Kopish for all you do. Big up yourself. I don't think Slot is a fraud, but I think his stubbornness should get him sacked. Why not play the same team for midweek? What did Salah do to get a start? Told everyone Salah wasn't dropped. He was rotated out, just like he was rotated out against Galatasaray. He wasn't
no,
dropped.
but Cal, if he was
Straight back in the team.
rotated out, then it's a worry about his attitude because that frop that strop that he threw makes no sense if he was just rotated for one game. That's so
His strop came from him knowing that he's chasing individual accolades and that he saw his team score 5 goals. So in his mind, he's thinking, I wanted to start this game because in my mind, I could have got a couple of goals here and a couple of assists. That's why
but that's worse if that's true.
Of course it's worse. Of course it's worse. But that's where the strop comes from.
I thought the strop was just I can't believe that you're not embarrassing me, but like me being dropped makes me look bad and makes it look like I'm kind of to blame. That's what I kind of thought like the strop was about. But whichever way, it's not a good look, is it?
Gang and Deep says, can't even blame those who are slot out anymore. How do you revert back to type with the same old BS tactics? So easy to bypass, play through and out for. Big up to Sanders 7. Go and check out to Sanders 7's channel, brilliant gaming channel. There's big up Jordan Henderson. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. I told you, Jordan Henderson's legs weren't gone, man. He just couldn't run for Klopp anymore.
Sam Max says Palace, Villa, City, Madrid next. This man is gone.
Yeah, he ain't surviving that. He's not. Because I don't think he wins any of those games.
Yeah, Tev says amount required to turn it around is impossible in my opinion.
And the league's gone. The league's gone, guys. The league's gone.
Alex says has to be said. Crazy finish from Salah. You never walk alone, boys. It was.
It was a bad boy finish.
Vitu says Kirkes plays like Gen Z version of Alberto Moreno. Guy makes me sick. Sell him. Huge signing for sure.
I agree with Vitu. It's definitely a huge signing. I agree with that.
So you think Slot had nothing to do with that?
No, I just think that because he was obviously player of the season last year, like, and clearly had some talent, it was like, all right, let's run with it then. But Hughes has a relationship with Kirkes. Kirkes is his dad. He signed him for Bournemouth. It's definitely a huge signing.
So let me ask you a question then. So why is it from the very first minute of the very first game, Kirkes was in without having to earn his place then?
Kirkes was what, sorry?
Kirkes was in the starting 11 without having to earn his place. If it's nothing to do with Slot, it's all to do with Hughes.
Well, everybody said that they didn't think Robertson was good enough anymore, so maybe Slot thought the same thing.
But if
everyone said that
if it's someone he's not on board with,
dropped.
But if it's someone he's not on board with, then you wouldn't just start him.
Bro, you got to remember, not being on board with would make it that he was like, I don't want the player. I'm not saying that he wasn't
so it's not a Richard Hughes signing, then it's him signing.
If Hughes is the one who suggests the player and then goes, what do you think? And then Slot goes, all right, cool. Then it's a Hughes player because Hughes is the one who's suggesting the player. And then if it's a Slot player, it will mean Slot will go, can you get me this guy? And then Hughes will be like, I agree with you, cool. And then so like whoever's the one who suggests the player, that will be whose player it is.
No, because you just said it. So if Richard Hughes suggested Kirkes and Slot turned around and was like, yeah, that's the guy. Let's go and get him. Whose signing is it then?
No, but he might not have said, yeah, that's the guy. But he might have just been like, you know what, you've convinced me. All right, cool. Like, I'm not going to, I won't cause an issue. That's who you want to get. You've convinced me. There's no way that Hughes has got all that relationship with Kirkes and he weren't the one who was more into winning him at Liverpool.
So was who signed Frimpong then?
I think Frimpong was probably, Slot does like him, so he was definitely on board, and market opportunity because he was 20 mil. I think it was a combination of both.
So we don't know. So we're now sitting there going, this player was a Slot player, that player wasn't, and
no, just Kirkes. Kirkes is the one for me. The way Slot is using him, and in terms of like he can't do what Slot clearly wants for that role, and the fact that he's got such a good relationship with Hughes. Yeah, I think Kirkes was a huge signing. And if you're left back of the year last year, I think most managers will probably be like, "Oh, I trust your judgment. Yeah, like he was a good player. Cool, let's bring him in." You know what? Frimpong could have even been 4D chess, bro. You think signing Florian might not have had something to do with his best friend being here as well? That could be some 4D chess, bro.
I think we're using narratives to try and protect the manager here.
No, this isn't about protecting the manager. Like, because I don't even know why it's bad for people to think it is like. Why are you against the idea it could be a huge signing? I don't even get what the pushback
Because
against
to
it
me,
is.
it sounds like everyone's saying, "Oh well, Hughes bought him, so it wasn't Slot's ID. It wasn't Slot's not the reason why Kirkins is crap. It's Richard Hughes. No, Slot bought him in. Slot's the one
No, I
playing it.
don't think people are saying that it's Hughes' fault why he's playing crap. But
But if we're
they're
saying
just
he's a
saying the
huge
reason why
signing,
he's here is because Hughes likes him.
but if we're saying he's a huge signing and everyone can agree he's played crap,
All right,
then
so just quickly then, Cal, why do you actually think it's important to have a director of football instead of just letting the manager pick players like when people didn't like when it was Klopp picking without a director of football? But then when we have a director of football who's brilliant at his job, then go, no, but it's still the manager picking the players. Like that
because
confuses
Slot's
me.
come out numerous times and says we all agree on which player to sign. It's not I'm not told which player to go and get and then have to we have an agreement. We all
No,
sit down and agree.
he said I'm always constantly having discussions with Richard about players. He didn't say like, yeah, like I'm like it's me.
And,
I can
and
like pick players.
And the reason why we have a director of football is because everyone has a role now. A director of football isn't just there to pick players, it's there to negotiate deals, to build relationships with other clubs so that when you do want a player, you can go back in for that player, to find out release clauses, to figure out all these things behind the scenes and to take that off the manager's table. So, the coach can coach the squad, can coach the team. Because when Klopp stopped coaching the team, that's when we regressed. When he was coaching the team, we're the best team in the world at one point.
I still
That's
think
why we
that
have a director of football.
I still think that when you've got a director of football and a head coach, not a manager, I still think that there is probably a lot more on the director of football for actually picking the players than it is for the manager for the head coach. I genuinely I think that's the point of being a director of football and a head coach rather than a manager. But we can chop that up another day.
Omar says, "Told you, Champions League and EPL are so different. Frankfurt a game, not a metric. Completely
But
agree."
we all said we needed to watch the Brentford game to actually get excited. We all said that after the Champions League game.
The FA Talk says every week we say the same things about the tactics. On a real, he cannot see the problems. Should he be sacked now before we're out of the league, cup, even top four? It's conversation. Vince's viewpoint says believers back to doubters. Facts. The red guy 8 says, "Are we wanting Glasner now?" I'll be looking at a Glasner
No,
situation.
I don't want the three at the back thing, man. We haven't got the squad for it, man.
I just want us to not be conceding silly goals and a
No,
manager
I
who's
know. But
willing
how
to.
we've only got three centre backs. If we bring in a manager who plays three at the back, what would we actually do, like personnel wise?
Glasner plays three at the back for Palace because it works for Palace. There's no guarantee he'd come in and play three at the back for Liverpool.
Bruv,
Plus,
he won everything at Frankfurt playing three at the back as well.
we can
That's
play
the way
three. We actually do have a squad player three at the back. We actually
No,
do.
because we've only got three fit centre
You
backs.
don't have to play three centre backs to play in the back three. Chelsea did it with Azpilicueta. Chelsea, other
But
teams
you
have
lot
done
told
it.
me that Robbo ain't good enough to do that, and Kirkes playing in
What?
that back three ain't gonna work.
Well, hold on. I've been the one championing saying I wanted the back three and I wanted Robbo to be in the back three.
Yeah, because he's the only person we've got. But you know you don't like Robbo as centre back. You've argued with me about that bare times.
Yes, in a back two, obviously not in a back three. It's a very different operation.
I know, but he's still technically a centre back, which still means like,
Yes,
can
but
he
that's where
play that
tactics
role
come.
every week?
Well, that's where tactics comes in. He's a centre back in terms of build up and he'll do channel defending, while Virgil can operate from the central areas and Ibu can cover the right channels.
I
We
don't
have
know,
no
man.
defensive setup. We cannot. We're sitting there talking about we don't want to play back three. We can't defend in a four at the moment.
Yeah, but that's because of the structure and the shape, not because it's a back four. If the midfielders were protecting and if we didn't go up, push up so much, and there's loads of little things that it's not because we're playing a back four, it's because the structure is weird and it's not working. But I don't want to go to a back three. I don't, and I know Glasner plays back three. That's his formation. So
Soup Stain says Slot looks lost out there, clueless. He's got to go. Jamrock says we could have put Gakpo close to the thrower. Yeah, we could have. Could have literally had someone stand in front of the thrower. Joe K says I'd take Stevie G at the moment. Same here.
that's wild. We can't. I wouldn't go that far.
Jamrock, I guess you might have sent that by accident. Big up yourself either way, Jamrock. Locker says, lads, appreciate everything you do, plus Tom and Dom Hassan. Especially in these times, it will turn around, keep your heads up. You'll never walk alone. PS, Gakpo and Salah, Gakpo and Salah. I hear you, Locker. Big up yourself. You'll never walk alone 2.0 says, how we conceding 3 goals versus Brentford can't win. Facts. We laughed at United for conceding 3 against Brentford, and we've done the same thing.
By the way, I just want to, like, people are saying you can't defend Slot anymore. When did I defend Slot during this conversation? Bringing another point of view is what conversation's about. I've never once defended Slot today, so I don't even know what people are talking about.
Vitu says, if we sign Semenyo and he starts playing like an iOS updated Mikel Antonio, then it's honest Slot ruining these players. I saw a bunch of these players go on international duty and look completely different. James says, somebody tell me why Coyote is looking like Yaya. Mad, innit? Darth Callum says, hear me out, but Ole or Daesh would have us good. They wouldn't.
That was banner. That's definitely banner.
Cooking in dirt, more like. Jerome says, 40-year-old Hendo bullied us. Get Slot out now.
I swear Hendo's 35, but yeah.
Adunfa says, can't out-coach someone who doesn't have tactics. He has tactics that just crap.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. We're just so crap. I don't think anyone's out tacticking us. That we're just crap. We're just so bad at the moment. It's not even a joke.
Giconio says Slot should be solid and fluid for a game. Pause. Mantis says even Aspinall fights up darkest weekend. Yeah. Malik says should have started Endo to maintain solidarity. Should have bought someone as an upgrade to Endo in the summer. I'm your biological father says Iriola is who we bring in. Time will tell. Just Lab says last year we weren't out-muscled, pressed, and outplayed some games. PSG, Newcastle, for example, but we controlled most games. We controlled most games in 2024. 2025, we went through the results. We didn't control most games. So there were cracks, but control hid them. Slot needs to make the team click.
I still disagree with this narrative that Liverpool were crap in the second half of the season.
Never said we were crap, but we were average at best.
No, I disagree with that. I watched plenty of games I enjoyed and we played good football. Like, I can't just run with it now. Yeah, there might have been some bad ones, but to say since January we haven't played well is just disingenuous. That's not true. It's just
if we went through the results the other show, we didn't play.
No, but a result doesn't even just display whether the performance was good or not, because people are saying our performances have been poor. The result is only half the story. We were watching Liverpool every week and we weren't disgruntled on a regular basis saying we're playing crap football. Because
we were winning, Drift. How many
if we were playing crap football, we would have still been saying, but why is the football so bad?
We were saying this. We were explaining.
We weren't saying this. We weren't.
Drift, of course. Bro, come on, Drift. We were sitting there going, this isn't good enough.
The evidence is there. If someone wants to bring me some clips, then cool. But we weren't. I was not sitting there annoyed and having arguments and discussions with people about how poor we're playing at any point from January to the end, apart from the Newcastle game, the PSG game. There was like odd games. It was like, what the hell was that about? But in general, we were not having we're crap, we're not playing good football conversations. We just weren't. I was there. Somebody's going to have to show me the evidence of this.
Drift, we said numerous times from January onwards, we said the results are good. We're going to win the league because we're so far ahead. But we need reinforcements in the summer because we're not playing good enough. I said it numerous times. I was like, the midfield's been found out. This midfield can't work next season. I want a DM or I want a new 10.
Bro, what we were saying was Gravenberch is tired now, and it's affecting us because obviously with him not playing that well, the midfield isn't looking as
So
good
why did you
anymore.
want Belabor then?
Because he's a wicked player and I want squad depth.
Because we needed more muscle in midfield.
And I was worried that if Gravenberch playing in that role gets tired in the second half of the season, don't be stupid and let it happen again and run him into the ground. And that's why he was so tired. But I don't remember people saying the midfield's crap. McAllister was good last year. Gravenberch was brilliant until he got tired. Like, Soboslai was brilliant. I don't remember us having conversations saying our midfield ain't good. There were iffy moments and whatever, but we weren't sitting there like, oh man, our midfield ain't good enough, man. It's crap. It was just, you know what? Let's upgrade on Endo.
Once
Like,
again,
let's get a better
said
DM
the
than
midfield was
Endo.
crap. I just said the midfield's been found out. Hence why we were starting to get disgruntled in games and teams were starting to deal with us bad.
I remember it being more Grav's performances were dropping away a bit, but fair enough.
It wasn't just Grav though. It wasn't just Grav.
What other midfielder played poorly in the second half of the season?
No, I never. Again, you're going too far. I never said poorly.
Well,
but we
average
were found out.
then.
Average and poor are two different things. Surely you must know.
I don't even think they're playing average. I think that Soboslai was playing well. McAllister was playing well. Like I'm trying.
They had some good games. They had some good games, but on the whole, we were average in 20. Like up until the last 4 results, we've been average in 2025. We've been average. Literally, the results. You say the results. You're right, but bro, I can sit there and I can go through the games with you again and be like, this wasn't a great performance. That wasn't a great performance. This wasn't a great. That wasn't a great performance. When Nunes came on against Brentford, we beat them 2-0. Can you sit there and say that was a good performance?
But it wasn't a bad performance. It was just we didn't break down the low block.
We
and
were
frustrated.
average. So average, as I've been saying, average.
So, like I said, I think it's disingenuous because I don't remember feeling like there's all these problems, but I'm too tired to argue it.
Sister Ross says we play every team the same. What's the system? Genuinely don't know. Ian says ownership need to be ruthless here.
They're not going to sack him. They're not going to sack him.
Acria says, and the clockwork subs are getting annoying. Sobert right back in the 60th minute does work exactly. Taking Bradley off every game without fail does work exactly. No comment, man. Regulus says Arsenal v City, who wins come May. As of right now, Arsenal. AJ Knows Ball says, big up, we keep getting bodied, we need strength, only centre-backs have it. What's the point of tactical ability with no patterns of play? Hashtag justice for Chiesa. Hear it. Uncle Rod's, big up Uncle Rod's, go and subscribe to his channel, says slot out now. Vitu says, Cow, there's a reason why we tried to sign Huijsen and now Semenyo. These are used moves. Sporting directors have power. Why are we refusing this? It's like Klopp wanted Brandt and took Salah, Edwards signing. Okay, so I'll break this one down. Everyone wanted Huijsen because he was a good footballer. Everyone now wants Semenyo because he's been brilliant so far this season. And then going forward, the reason we didn't get Brandt is because Brandt rejected us. We got Salah because Brandt rejected us. That is factual information that's out there. Julian Brandt rejected us. So then we had to pivot to another target.
I didn't know about Brandt. I know Goetze rejected us, but I've never heard Brandt rejected us.
Brandt rejected us. He didn't want to move to Liverpool at the time.
Like I've never heard that.
Then we moved on to another target.
I only heard about Goetze. But
they both rejected us. That's out there for everyone to see.
I'll check it. I don't know. I've never heard it.
Deva says need Klopp back, and I know Drift agrees, but not Cal. No, I don't want Klopp back. Klopp left because he was tired of being a manager.
Well, he said he needed a break. Maybe he's had a year off and he's revitalized.
Regula says goals against Liverpool 14, Arsenal 3. What the F slot? Joshua Harvey, the point of a manager is to create an environment for the players to thrive and outplay the other team. We're not creating that environment. Kirk is a prime example. He isn't helping himself. Kirk has agreed with all of that. Your Neville Cologne says, Vert's 116 mil. We expect quality, zero magic at the moment. Poor. Well, he's even out to play right midfield and then he's being hooked off. I don't get what more he could do. Drew P says, Cow, I need my eyes gouged like Aspinall after these performances. I hear him. Randy66 says, Slot was hired because he also played the Klopp system and based on data. So what are we saying? The club have to act Slot out. We'll see. Jay Ruiz says Slot lost the team. He doesn't know what to do. Atletico Madrid was our last good game. He needs to leave. Maybe Iriolo or Glasner can be an option. Not an atheist says whoa, no. You're an absolute prick. Chef says we don't deserve Semenyo at the moment. Slots sham TikTok. Ash says, said it on the watch along. This is like Wenger's end of days. Bunch of individuals, no cohesion. Our team spirit, togetherness has vanished. I'm worried. Hear it. Sheikh says this team doesn't work with Salah. Serious convo. Late Show says winning the league and spending all that money, there's no excuse that is acceptable. At this point, why not play back three? Can't be any worse than this. Gareth says today is the day. I think I'm slot out. Locker says four players this season: Salah, Gakpo, Maka, and Kirkes.
It's not fair to put Cody in there.
Randy says Klopp system from August to Jan to now is slot. Again, I disagree with that, but that's your opinion, Randy. Omar says, to be honest, God be with you doing all this season on YouTube. Rough. Yeah, feels like it's going to be a long one. Klaus says, how dare he go to Dubai? Stinks. I mean, I did say last season after we won the league and we started going on holidays and started throwing in the towel. That's an air of arrogance I never wanted to see at Liverpool. Let's go through the player ratings.
This will be easy, man.
Mamadashvili.
I give him a 5.5 or a 6.
I'll go 6 for Mamadashvili. In fact, no, I'm going to go higher than that. He made one bad pass, which was towards the end of the game. He was doing as much as he could to punch out, and he actually made a really good save, a very good save in the game.
Yeah, he did, but I mean,
none of the first goal wasn't his fault. Scored a penalty, and the second one.
The first goal wasn't his fault, but the second goal, I mean, could he have done better? I know we used to Alisson, who's brilliant on 101, so maybe it's harsh, but I'm like, could he have done, like, he kind of went straight at him almost.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's shaped like he's going to go far post, hence why he's dived there and then hooked it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still going to go 6 highest. I know he did make 1 or 2 good saves and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I'll go 6 at highest.
We'll land at a 6.5 for Mamadan. Bradley.
5.
I'm actually going to go 6 for Bradley. I don't think of anything he actually did wrong today. He put the ball in for the first goal. Don't think he deserved to come off, to be honest.
I'm still going to stick with 5. I don't know. Yeah.
And at 5.5. Kanate.
7. 6.5, 7. I know you don't think it was there was anything he could do for the goal because the player ran across him, but I still think he's got a responsibility to know that the player's behind him, to know that he might make that run. So it's about awareness. He made some good clearing headers, but I can't go higher than 7 for Ibu. That's the highest I can go for him.
I'm
And I
good
still
with
feel
7.
like I'm being a bit generous, but yeah.
Virgil.
2.
I'd have gone 5 from Virgil. So,
I would have gone 5, but he gave away a penalty.
which wasn't a penalty. Cover. We look at that. That's not a penalty, man.
Yeah, but at the same time, he just didn't have a good game, man. He even like elbowed my man at the end and stuff. Virgil
He
just he
jumped
didn't
up
have
for a header, and it wasn't a penalty.
I don't know. No, but it wasn't just that. Like his performances weren't good for me again. But yeah, I don't know. Virgil didn't play well today, man. He didn't.
All right, we'll
I would have
average
gone
it.
5 without him giving away the penalty.
We average it at 3 then. Kirkes.
2.
Kirkes
No,
gets a
maybe
1.
I'll give him a 3 because he scored the goal.
Kirkes didn't have a better game than Virgil.
No, I was going to give him a 2, but he scored the goal, so that's the only reason I'm giving him the same.
Kirkes is a 1. Without the goal, what did he do good?
Well, look, I'm not going to argue for him like he did anything, but like I would have gone 2 without the goal. So, because he did put 1 or 2 good crosses in, so I'm not going to be like absolutely did nothing. Like, but yeah.
Jones.
I'll go 8 for Jones. I think Jones is one of the only players that can leave that pitch with his head held high.
Completely agree. Sobo.
7.5, just behind Jones. I think Sobo had a pretty good game today.
For me, if Jones is at 8, Sobo's at least at 8 as well.
I just saw Sobo make a few mistakes, and I didn't really see Jones make mistakes. That's all. Like poor passes from Sobo and giving the ball away sometimes and stuff. But I just think Jones is slightly better, just slightly better than him.
So what did you give Sobo?
7.5 and an 8 for Jones.
Verts.
4.
I'd have gone 5 for Verts.
I wouldn't have argued if you just said 5.
Salah.
The goal was brilliant. Apart from the goal, let me ask you a question. I'm being like, I'm not being stupid. Both of them scored, so let's just take that out of the equation. Was Salah better than Kirkes today?
No, they're both the same. Both 1 out of. Without the goal, they're both in the basement. With the goal, they get a 1.
Okay, well, I'll keep the same energy because of the same scenario. So I'll give Salah 3 because he scored the goal.
Virgil, Salah, and Kirkes being on the same rating really irks me. I'm not going to lie to you.
Fair enough, and it sounds like, but because they scored, that's the only reason why I've given them a slight, bump up in their rating.
But apart from the goal, what did they? Here's the thing. I always say to be poor, you've got to be a hindrance to the team. Salah and Kirkes today were hindrances to the team.
Yeah, I said 2's poor, bro. I gave him a 2, bro.
No, but Virgil, for me, I don't think that was a penalty. And again, I hate to say it, without Virgil and Konate, we don't win aerial duels. We don't win second balls.
What did you give Virg?
I'd have given Virgil a 5, and I'd give the other 2 a 1. There is no way Salah's getting more than a 1. He scored a brilliant goal. But what else did he do?
Virgil didn't play. You're right. In comparison to them 2, he did play well.
What else did Salah do today? What else did Kirkes do today?
No, they didn't do anything apart from score the goal.
They were crap. Kirkes was misplacing the... Bruv, there was a time where Kirkes could have just gently passed it back to Mamardashvili, and this guy tried to do a diving header, bro. He tried to do a diving header to do what? The guy's tapped. He mentally tapped.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I really don't. But you convinced me, bruv. Give them a 1, man. You convinced me.
Kirkes getting a 1. Salah's getting a 1, man. Ekitike.
4. 3, 4. Definitely his worst game in a Liverpool shirt.
I'm gonna go 3.
Yeah, I won't argue with you.
Gave away the ball for their second goal as well. Like just doing fancy flicks and tricks when it's not the time to be doing that. Didn't hold anything up. Didn't beat any players. Had one shot of memory that didn't even test the goalkeeper.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, he was poor. He was poor.
Subs Robbo.
5. He was all right. He was all right.
McAllister.
2.
I'd have gone 4 for McAllister.
I'm trying to remember how long he was on the pitch for. How long was he on the pitch for?
Long enough not to be good enough.
About 10 minutes, I think he came on for. Yeah. Oh yeah, we forgot Gakpo, bro.
Oh yeah, Gakpo.
3.
Yeah, dive was a joke.
Yeah, I don't know why he dived. After actually getting to the ball first, if he'd have just stayed in his feet, he would have actually been kicked and he would have actually won a penalty. But the referees don't really give us decisions. That might be why. But yeah, he shouldn't be diving.
Chiesa. I go 5 for Chiesa.
Yeah, just about. I was gonna say 4 maybe, but
Rio.
I think he was 3. He didn't do anything, did he? How long was he on the pitch for though? Was he on the pitch for long?
Rio came on in the 70th minute.
Raw. Oh no, Rio gets a 2 then. If he was playing for 20 minutes and I thought he was only on the pitch for a couple of minutes, yeah, gets a 2 then. I thought he came on it like just for stoppage time or something. The way yeah, he was poor.
Gomez.
3. He got twist up in it. He made 1 or 2 good glimpses, but he got twist up. I go 3 for Joey.
Slot.
0.
Basement for me.
Yeah, 0.
No, below.
There's no hiding it. He's lost the dressing
No,
room.
it's ground floors 0. He's basement negative.
Oh yeah, I'm cool with that. 100%. He's lost the dressing room, and I need evidence he hasn't, because I'm convinced now he's lost the dressing room.
AG says if there's a shot for Gerrard, this is the time.
I genuinely don't think we can have a conversation where we're being serious about suitors and put Stevie in there. It'll be so much pressure. It'll be weird. He hasn't had a good spell to come into the job with momentum. It'd just be weird. I can't entertain a serious Steven Gerrard for manager conversation. I just can't.
Sister Roz says Slot just admitted that the other team know what strategy to play against us, and we haven't found the answer yet. Isn't it his job to find the answers?
That's pretty damning for him to
Can
say
someone
that.
just confirm? Big up Sister Roz. I'm not even saying, but how did he word it? What was the exact quote, please, someone? Because if he said that, I'm gonna say the words. Like I literally will say the words. Like because brother, you're not doing it.
If he actually is, if the quote is him literally saying that, he's lost the plot. Like he's actually lost the plot.
Like if he said that, then you're not doing your job and you can't do your job. Shout out to the Cop Zone. Says Arne Slot, teams have a certain playing style against us, which is a very good strategy to play against us, and we have not found an answer yet. Yeah. It's time, man.
Oh, he did actually say it, bro.
Yeah, it's time.
Oh yeah, it's time. It's time. He's lost the plot. If he really said it's time,
if he said
you can't say stuff like that.
Big up Mario says Slot looked lost in the post-match interview. Looks lost everywhere at the moment.
If he's lost the dressing room and he's lost the plot, there's nowhere else to go now.
Joseph says, "Enough gambling with my emotions." Slot ... Atana says, "Hey guys, why are we not pressing as a team anymore?" I wish I could answer these questions. Atanas, you're asking me questions only Slot and God can answer, bro. And I'm not talking about
what? We wouldn't be able to.
In heaven.
Atanas, we wouldn't be able to press even if we wanted to because Gakpo and Salah aren't good at it.
Atanas says, "Drift, I agree with you about every single player not putting enough effort except Szoboszlai. I watched the game with my own 2 eyes. He ran his guts off."
Yeah, I think you said you feel sorry for him during the game, innit?
No, I do. I do. But he had to play right back and then centre back today. Szoboszlai had to play back and centre back.
Bro, that last 2 minutes when Virgil went up front, like we can't
Bro,
go.
it weren't just 2. No, it was about 5 minutes.
But it was just stoppage time. The big man got up front. That wasn't like tactically.
It's not the
point.
He
felt that Szoboszlai was good there, bro. That's going too far. He didn't do it like that.
That's not the point, bro.
I just think Szoboszlai used intelligence to fill the gap because Virgil was up front. I don't think Slot was like, "Hey, you're centre back now." Like, I don't think it was that, bro.
Either way, it's bad. Either way,
it is bad. It is bad. Putting Virgil up for the last couple of minutes is like, what the fuck are you doing? That's just weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real, Drift. I never thought I'd say it this early, but I think he's got to go.
No, you know what, Cal? If the quote is real, he's got to go. He's got to go.
He's got to go. And I know this bit will get clipped up. I know if he turns it around, I know this bit will get used. And you said
no, but forget what the rivals are gonna say. Forget that.
No, our fan base will do it as well. Look, it's part of the game we play, isn't it? Like we're sitting here on the internet, we're speaking. Brother, how many times do we see Hassam throw up the video from Tom saying, "Yeah, Jurgen, mate, it's time. It's time to go."
Yeah.
Like it will happen, innit? But I'm saying as of right now, the 25th of October, I want a new manager because I don't think this guy has what it takes to turn this around at the moment with the way he's acting and the way he's setting up the team, that who he's playing on the pitch, who he's picking. It's time. I don't think
there's no world we can live in, Cal, where he's saying teams know how to play against us, but he isn't spending time to change in order to stop that happening. That can't be right. That can't. I'm actually still like, and again, I know Sister Rose wouldn't lie, so it's like I know it's true, but I'm actually just like, no, this can't be real. I'm gonna go and watch it, and that won't be what he said. He can't have been that naive and stupid to actually bait himself up like that.
Jay saying it's a fake quote.
I've got to go and watch. I just need to watch the thing to know where I go on, because that is mad. I'm done with him if that quote is true. I'm done. If that quote is true, I'm done with him. But I believe he's lost the dressing room, so I don't think it matters whether I'm done with him or not. I think we might have to. I mean, Cal, let's have the conversation quickly now then before we wrap up. And obviously we'll go into depth on Monday and stuff like that. But just right here, right now, for 2 seconds, do you genuinely have anyone in mind that you actually think would be a good idea if he's got to go?
Yeah, Glasner or Gerrard. I know people won't like me saying Gerrard. That's my personal opinion. I'm not saying people are wrong for saying I'm wrong, but that's just me. I would do that.
Okay.
That's just me.
Interesting. I definitely don't think Gerrard is ready. And especially when we're in bad form and stuff, I think that would be really setting him up. So if it doesn't work, it makes him look bad. Like I don't think that would be nice for him either. Outside of that, I'll have to have a think, because I do think Glasner's a bad boy manager. I do think Areola's a bad boy manager. I'm going to have to really assess whether I think they're good enough to take Liverpool to a league title, though. So, yeah, I'll have to have a little think about it.
Again, I know he's not the oracle, but Lewis Steele has posted what it's on Twitter. Lewis Steele's posted.
What, as in, like, it's a quote that Slot did actually say those exact words?
Arne Slot asked on what is going wrong. Teams have a certain playing style against us, which is a very good strategy to play against us, and we have not found answers yet. Lewis
Well, that's
still
a little bit differently worded, but I'm still not
no,
happy
it's
with
just,
it.
no, it's the same. It's the same way. It's the
I would
exact
need to
same as what we
go.
worded.
Hold it. I'm trying to remember
Anfield
what.
sector have got the quote up.
It's time to go, Slot. That's crazy. That's crazy. I know you don't get much time on the training pitch, but what are we doing, bro? what are we actually doing? Do you know what's confusing me more than anything? I get Isak wasn't playing today, which obviously is different in terms of the way we played against Frankfurt because he went with them too. But I don't get why what made us look better, he went away from. Like, I don't get having a successful match and then moving away from that to play the same way we were playing when we weren't looking good. I'm so confused by that. That's almost like self-sabotage. That's actually like self-sabotage.
Shawnee S says very harsh on the skipper, lads. Maybe it's me, but on the eye and stats he stood out, and it wasn't a pen either. It's a shame. I agree, Shawnee, personally. Atana says at his worst, Klopp never lost 4 in a row. We did lose something silly like 6 games at home in a row, though. So, but again, the
Yeah, that
caveat
was
to that
mad.
is that season we flipping didn't have reinforcements.
Yeah,
That was on
our
the owners.
defense. That was a defense issue.
That was on the owners.
Mm.
Acquia says Slot came into a team without his own players and made it work. I don't agree with the argument about whose signings are his. That's the point. Mario says we winged it last season and fell into a title race. I disagree with that. I don't think we winged it. We deserved to win the league last season.
That's what I'm saying. People are being disingenuous to Slot when they say stuff like that. Like, that's just taken away, and it almost feels a bit like in hindsight because he's not doing well now. Like, I don't really remember anyone during the summer, especially, saying they don't think Slot's a good manager. I feel like a lot of this is maybe like an emotional response to being so pissed off, because I don't remember anybody saying they don't think Slot is a good manager. So, I don't know.
Atana says, anyone saw a podcast with Klopp where he got asked if he would consider come back to managing LFC, and he said probably. Would you guys take him back? Me personally, no.
The only reason I wouldn't take Klopp back is because I wouldn't want it to fail, and then he has a tarnished legacy at Liverpool. But in terms of, like, do I think he's good enough? Yeah, if he genuinely was just tired and this year off has like really made him feel refreshed, Klopp is still a brilliant manager. Yeah, I would take him. There's also that worry as well of, like, you shouldn't go back. You know, like, that does always play on my mind. Like, Jose Mourinho's the only time I remember a manager. No, Ancelotti, I guess he went back to Real Madrid and was successful again. Maybe it can be done. Jose and Ancelotti have both done it, so maybe it can be done. Would you just wouldn't take Klopp back at all?
No,
Like,
because I just think the way things ended with him and stuff, like, I just think sometimes it's good to leave things in the past. Like, I wouldn't say it's a fairy tale ending because we didn't win the league in his last season, but the send off he got, the memories he's left us with, the squad and the foundation he left us with, like, that was almost as perfect as it can get, in it. Like, the years he had at the club and how much we love him, how much we adore him, like, and plus he's like, he left because he was sick of managing. He was fed up. He was tired. Like,
yeah, but bro, he did say when he was leaving, who knows in the future once I have a break if I'll have the energy
no,
back. It's
I
not
hear
like,
that.
you know what I mean. So
So
I would just be worried that it wouldn't go well and it would tarnish his reputation. That's what I would worry about. Is he good enough? Cow, he's better than all the managers we're talking about. He's better than Areola. He's better than Glasner. He's better than all these guys. So
his resume and everything, whether he's still better than them now, we don't know. We have no evidence to say. We actually don't know. We don't, Drift. We
He's
don't.
better than
No,
them.
we're presuming he is because he's Jurgen, but we actually don't know.
Nah.
Let's not rewrite history. We were all getting frustrated with how we were playing before he left as well. Let's make no issue about that.
I wasn't.
We were, Drift, man. We were all frustrated.
I just think we physically and emotionally ran out of steam. I think we were having a good season up until the beginning of April, bro. We were in a title race and we could have, I just think we just emotionally and physically ran out of steam. And it was the first season of the new midfield, and it was obviously there were going to be some teething issues, and I don't think Klopp left and it was oh yeah, he's not good anymore. We were in a title race till April, so I don't know, man. I don't know.
Sister Ross says Redmen to question what's led to the dip. The manager is too stubborn. Ayula says, so what are we doing during international break? So what were we doing? Apparently he was in Dubai. That's why I'm here. I don't even know if it's true or not, but he was in Dubai from what rumors have been suggesting. If that is the truth, then clearly taken in the sun, right? You'll never walk alone 2.0 says Sunderland bought 13 players in and they're all gelling. Facts.
Context is just way easier to handle the pressure at Sunderland than Liverpool, but I hear the point.
Gelling though, Drew. Gelling. These players don't gelled at all.
No, I get it, but gelling would also mean you got to be settled, and none of our players look settled. So, I don't know.
Mantis says Slot without the throws is too crazy. I need to make sure that's a real quote.
Without the throwing is 2-2. Is that what he said? Oh no, he's getting worse. The things he's saying are getting worse. Fucking hell.
That can't be a real quote. That can't be a real quote. Mantis, please tell me that's not a real quote.
That it's getting worse and worse.
That can't be a real quote. That can't be a real quote.
I'm gonna literally, as soon as we finish, I'm going to watch the press conference. I need to know now. I need to know.
Where's
Dean saying he saw it on Match of the Day? It's true. Yeah, man, he's getting worse. The things he's saying are getting worse and worse. He doesn't know how to handle not doing well, because he's pretty much had success for the majority of his short managerial career. He doesn't know how to handle this going wrong. This is probably the first time in his career he's had a crisis, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. He doesn't know how to deal with it. Do you know what? There's got to have been something that actually fundamentally has gone wrong somewhere.
When he went to Ibiza, he must have been taking meth. That's the only thing I can think of it.
Because here's the crazy thing, Cal, yeah? Here's the crazy thing. When you actually deep Slot's career, which is one of the reasons I was excited we were getting him in the first place, his first ever role as a coach was at AZ Alkmaar, and COVID is the only thing that stopped him from winning the league, because the league got cancelled. He then goes to Feyenoord, improves there massively, coaches superbly, reaches a European final and only loses because it's to Jose's Roma, who was really good as well. And he wins the league and the cup. So he gets a trophy in both seasons as Feyenoord manager. Then he comes to Liverpool and he wins the league, deals with the pressure of being Klopp's predecessor, everything seamlessly. It wasn't even like there was a transition. He dealt with everything so well, came in, he wins the league. How has he all of a sudden gone so far in a bad direction? He is not a, but I tell you, Slot is a good manager. What is happening right now? What is actually happening? I am so confused. I am baffled. I'm baffled. I'm so baffled. I'm so baffled. I'm so baffled.
Ayula said, when was the last time we controlled a game for 90 minutes? I'd probably say the closest we come to it was Frankfurt. Maka says I'd take Klopp back as interim.
I don't think Klopp would do the interim. There's too much respect for him to do an interim job.
Mosey says I don't think it was ever in the game for us to get a result at this point. Get any manager over this brain dead fraud. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. This ain't good, and yeah. If you got anything you want to say to the people before we take them out?
No, I'm so done with the day, with the weekend, with what's happening at Liverpool right now. Slot's lost the dressing room, no, man. He's got to go. If he's saying those things and the players aren't playing for him, he's got to go. He's got to go. It's unfortunate, but I can't see a way out of this. Not at the moment. Owners won't sack him, though. They won't. They won't sack him.
Jamrock says no expectations last year. Huge expectations this year. It's very true as well.
But again, I still find it disingenuous to say no expectation. He took over from Klopp. Of course, there was expectation. That I think that's disingenuous.
No one expected him to win the league in his first season. I think that's what Jamrock's saying.
But he still had expectations on him. He was taking over from Klopp. Everybody said that he was going to fail. So the expectations were that he wasn't good enough to deal with it, and he did deal with it.
So then technically what Jamrock's saying is right, because if everyone expects him to fail, then the expectations aren't very high.
No, but that is an expectation in itself. You're not good enough. Proving them wrong is being good. Do you know what I mean? Like it's dealing with it. It's just dealing with it in a different way. Not expectation to win the league, but there was still a big expectation on him to prove everybody wrong that he was so crap, or say that he wasn't going to be good enough to take over from Klopp.
But he's not. Jamrock wasn't saying that he wasn't good. He was saying that. Put it this way.
He said there's no expectation on him last year, and there absolutely was expectation on Slot last season.
All right, did we expect Slot to win the league? Was there an expectation for him to win the league last season?
I thought he would win the league, but there wasn't an expectation. No.
Okay, what was the expectation? To finish top 4, right?
The expectation was on the flip side was like he's not going to be good enough. How are Liverpool going to cope?
No, so the expectation was for him to finish top 4.
It depends which way you're looking at. From the fan base, I think that's what we thought would happen. But we're still Liverpool, so there's always an expectation to go for a league, to try and win the league, right? Like there's always an expectation to try and win the league. And I felt we could win the league because the squad was good enough to win the league.
No, but that was but you didn't expect to win the league. You thought we'd win the league.
So there's only an expectation on you if the fan base believed that you should. Like, who's putting the expectation on it then?
We are all right. So I'm going to tell you what we said last summer as a collective. You said, "I think we can win the league. I think we're gonna win the league," but you never said, "I expect to win the league." This summer.
No, but I would never say expect anyway, bro, because I think that's like that verbiage is a bit too entitled. So I'd never be like, I expect this, I expect that. Just I think we're good enough to do this. I think we'll do it. I'd always say that.
We all collectively after summer we had sat here and went, we're winning the league. Our expectation is to win the league. We all sat there and said, if we sign Gahey, then multiples. I want league and Champions League. We didn't sign Gahey. We all said the league. That was the expectation. So the expectation from last summer to this summer, a night and day. He came in on the back of Klopp, and everyone sat there and went, he's got big shoes to fill. No one, all the pundits had Liverpool finish.
No, but that's what I'm saying. To try and take Klopp's role is an expectation, regardless of what kind of expectation.
I'm not saying there's but that's what I'm saying. The expectation is very different.
Yeah, regardless of whether it's different, it's still big in its own way. So it doesn't matter whether it's an expectation to win the league or not. He had massive expectations on him to come in and replace Klopp. So even if it's a different type of expectation, it's very disingenuous to say last season Slot had no expectation on him. I don't, that's not true. But if you lot disagree, then fair enough. I think people are underrating just how much taking over from Klopp and the whole structure and all the director of football, everyone going, was a big deal, and how well Slot dealt with all of that.
You're not
So I think
underestimating
there
that.
was an expectation on it.
That's why we all gave him massive credit. But there is a very different expectation last year to what there is now. A very different expectation. Like it's
Maybe in
night and
terms
day.
of where Liverpool should finish in the league, but he still had expectation on him because he was replacing Klopp. So it's a different type of expectation. So
We
that's why I
signed
just think
one
it's
player.
disingenuous to say he had no expectation,
We
because I
signed
don't think
one
that's
player.
true.
We signed one player last summer. One
So
player.
if he failed and didn't do well last season, would everyone have said, "Well, you know what? It's okay because it was so hard to fill Klopp's boots that
No,
like this was bound to happen"?
there
No,
would have
no one
been
would have said that. People have just said he's not good. Get rid of him.
no. There would have been more people would have sat there and gone. You know what? He just come into a Klopp team that finished third. We all know he's not as good as Klopp, and he's only signed one player. We might have to have a bit more patience with him.
I doubt very much
If
anyone
we
would
had
have
lost
said
4 games in the league on the bounce last year, there wouldn't be a crash out like there is this time this year.
all right.
Because we had only signed Chiesa, we'd finished third this season before, we'd lost Klopp, etc., etc. He's had a year at the club. He's brought in players, whether we believe it's Hughes' players or his players. He's brought in some fantastic players who we all deemed as being excellent needle movers. He's spent more money than any Liverpool manager I've seen in my lifetime, backed by ownership and directors of football, etc., who have been at the club and know the ethos and everything of the club. And he had a title winning team. It's two different things. Expectations is night and day. It's night and day.
No, but like I said,
Last season,
the expectation is just different. You're talking about expectation to win the league. Yes, facts. He didn't have even remotely the same level of expectation to win the league. But unless I'm mistaken, Jamuk said last season no expectation. This season there is expectation. If he meant the league, fair enough. But I don't think that was in the super chat. It just said last season no expectation. This season there is expectation. So that's why I said I think it's disingenuous to say that because he had an expectation to take over from a legend at the club. But if he literally is just saying to win the league, then okay, I wouldn't have said anything if he put to win the league. So there's two different conversations.
but we didn't. Maybe a cup competition. Like none of us expected to win league or Champions League, apart from you and maybe Jamie. As a fan base as a
So
whole,
you don't think there's an expectation on you as being the successor to such a legend. You don't think there's any expectation
no,
on you
I
at
never
all.
said there's no expectation, Drew. I never said there's no expectation. But the expectation is still night and day. Case in point, last season, if I'm not mistaken, all the pundits bar a few had Liverpool finishing fourth or third. Fourth or third. It was Man City and Arsenal who were going to win the league. Some had Chelsea finish above us, some had Spurs finish above us, etc. It was fourth or third. I think the majority put us to finish fourth. The expectation for Liverpool was literally just to finish in the Champions League spots. Every pundit this summer, if I'm not mistaken, pretty much had Liverpool winning the league.
But again, that conversation I'm not arguing because then you're talking about winning the league. So I agree. I just think it was disingenuous to say there's no expectation on him as a blanket statement because then we're not talking about anything in particular, just saying there was no expectation on him. And then that's when I just thought, no, that's not true. Taking over from Klopp. Of course there was expectation. Like you know what I mean? Of course there was. But again, like I said, just two different things.
Vacabon, big up Vacabon, has been a while, says very poor from Liverpool. Mario says he's got the world's best at his fingertips. Go. Facts. I didn't hear anyone moan about our window. No one. The most we said is we wish we had signed another centre back.
Yeah, no, you can't moan about the window.
No one moaned at the window. Isak Ekitike and Verse. What?
No one.
We're doing this. Nah, man. It's ain't on, man. It's ain't on at all. Jamie, I've just seen your message. Have you set up your stream, Jay? Let me know. Sorry, Jay, just drop me a message, please, bro, to let me know if you set your stream so we can redirect to you. Do you have anything coming up tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm doing El Clasico tomorrow, guys, but starting with the Arsenal game. So if you want to join me for that one, be the first half of the Arsenal game and then switching to El Clasico and then seeing what Real Madrid and Barcelona have got for us, man. So yeah, come and join me for that one, guys, if you want to watch some good football, because I think the Barca Real Madrid game will be a good one.
Just like I'm just waiting for Jamie.
This Indie Bumba, is this a real one? Because sometimes people say that and then it's not even
He's just basically come out saying that he will have breaking news at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh, okay. It ain't Slot has been sacked, guys. So like,
no, it'll probably be some tweet saying that there's been crisis meeting held or something like that.
Cal, before we go, do you believe the owners would sack Slot at this point? Like, do you think like they would have a meeting in the next couple of days and sack him?
I personally don't think they will. No. I do. I think they'll look at the situation, but I don't think anything will be done personally. But they're the ones who get paid to make the decision.
I think he'll get sacked in the next international break because I don't think we beat Villa and I don't think we beat City, and I think we'll be 10 or 11 points off the top. I think he gets sacked in the next international break.
Personally, I think that's quite negligent.
What, to wait that long, you mean? Well, they'll need to have somebody in mind, so I guess it will also depend on if they actually have another manager in mind at the moment.
Yeah. Sorry, Jay, I'm still not seeing the. I think I might have it now.
What, the super chat?
No, Jamie's stream.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Jamrock, so you said Jamie.
There we go. Jamrock says this has nothing to do with no centre back signings. Chat, yeah.
No, what's going wrong now doesn't have anything to do with that. No.
But well, people, look, you're going to be redirected over to Jamie. In no doubt, he's going to speak about this in more detail as well. People, look, had well over 2,000 of you guys for the whole show, so please do smash the like button. We'd love to get 1,500 likes on this video, so please make that happen for us, guys. And look, we'll be dropping a video tomorrow, and then if there's any more breaking news, we'll react to it as and when as well, people. So do look out and switch on the notification bell to confirm Liverpool lost another game in the Premier League at 3-2 to Brentford. Title looks to be out of reach now, and we'll see what has to happen between now and the end of the season. But people, be up to all of you in the chat. Till we see you again. Stay safe, stay blessed. With Kopish. All right, people. Take care.
Peace.